Hey everyone, it's true the big payment boost we've been tracking is set to start hitting accounts on May 15th. With the House Speaker vote scheduled for later this week, the $2,780 monthly payment increase for SSI, SSDI, and VA benefit recipients is finally moving forward after months of negotiation. This could affect millions of Americans who rely on these critical benefits, and things are moving quickly now. If you or someone you love receives these benefits, you'll want to stay with me through this entire update because I'm breaking down exactly what's happening, who qualifies, and what you need to do to make sure you don't miss out. Today I'm walking you through the latest on this payment increase, the political situation in Congress that's finally unlocked it, and exactly what this means for your benefits starting this month. Let's start with what's actually happening right now. After nearly 6 months of gridlock, the House of Representatives is scheduled to vote on a new speaker this Thursday. Why does this matter for your benefits? Because this leadership vote is the final roadblock that's been holding up the comprehensive benefits package that includes the $2,780 monthly payment option for qualifying recipients. The benefits package was technically approved back in March, but implementation has been stuck in legislative limbo without proper House leadership to move the administrative details forward. Now, with bipartisan pressure mounting to resolve the leadership vacuum before summer recess, the Social Security Administration and Department of Veterans Affairs have been given the green light to prepare for rollout beginning May 15th. I've been following this closely, and here's what makes this development significant. Unlike typical cost of living adjustments that happen automatically, this is a targeted support package specifically designed to address the ongoing inflation challenges facing Americans on fixed incomes. The Congressional Budget Office analysis released last week confirmed that recipients of SSI, SSDI, and certain VA benefits will see their potential maximum monthly payments reach approximately $2,780, representing one of the most substantial increases to these programs in recent memory. So what exactly is the government doing about this right now? The Social Security Administration issued a statement yesterday confirming they've begun the implementation process. According to their press release, and I'm quoting directly, the SSA is prepared to implement the approved benefit adjustments starting with the May payment cycle. Eligible recipients should see changes reflected in payments distributed from May 15th onward. The Department of Veterans Affairs similarly confirmed they're synchronizing their payment systems to align with this timeline, focusing first on disabled veterans with 70% or higher disability ratings and those receiving aid and attendance benefits. What's important to understand is that this isn't just a simple increase across the board. The package includes a recalculation of benefit formulas that takes into account regional cost of living variations, dependency status, and specific disability classifications. This approach represents a significant shift in how these benefits are calculated, moving away from the one-size-fits-all national COLA adjustment to a more personalized approach that better reflects actual living costs in different parts of the country. The Congressional Research Service estimates that approximately 7.2 million Americans receiving SSI, 9.4 million on SSDI, and roughly 1.3 million VA beneficiaries could see significant changes to their monthly payments. For context, that's nearly 18 million Americans who could be directly affected by these changes starting next week. Let's break down what these numbers actually mean for real people. The current average monthly Social Security disability payment is approximately $1,538, while SSI payments average around $943 per month. VA disability payments vary widely based on rating, but average approximately $1,520 for those with 70% disability ratings. Under the new formula, these base payments could increase substantially, with maximum combined benefits potentially reaching that $2,780 figure mentioned in our title, though it's critical to understand that not everyone will receive the maximum amount. According to the SSA's implementation guidelines published on their website last week, the increases are structured on a graduated scale. For example, SSDI recipients currently receiving between $1,400–$1,600 monthly could see increases of $600–$800, while those receiving less than $1,000 currently could see their benefits potentially double, especially if they qualify for multiple program benefits. The Congressional Budget Office projects that roughly 40% of current beneficiaries could see their monthly payments increase by at least $500, with approximately 22% potentially receiving increases of $1,000 or more if they qualify for the maximum adjustment based on their specific circumstances. What makes this particularly significant is how it impacts those receiving the lowest current benefits. Analysis from the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities shows that this adjustment would lift approximately 1.4 million beneficiaries above the federal poverty line, representing the most substantial anti-poverty initiative implemented since the expansion of the child tax credit in 2021. So what does this all mean for you if you're receiving these benefits? First, most recipients won't need to take any action to receive the adjusted payments. The SSA and VA are programmed to automatically recalculate benefits based on information already in their systems. However, and this is important, certain recipients may need to verify their information, particularly if you've moved to a different region in the past year, have had changes in your household composition, or if your disability status has changed. The SSA has established a dedicated verification portal at ssa.gov/benefits/update that will go live tomorrow morning for those who need to confirm their information is correct. The timeline for implementation is relatively quick. Initial notification letters are scheduled to be mailed out starting tomorrow, May 13. Digital notifications for those enrolled in online services should begin appearing in accounts on the same day. The first adjusted payments will start processing on May 15, though actual deposit dates will vary based on your regular payment schedule. For SSDI recipients who receive payments on the 3rd of each month, the adjustments would first appear in June payments. SSI recipients, who typically receive payments on the 1SD, would also see changes in their June deposits. VA benefit recipients on standard end-of-month schedules would see adjustments in their May 31 SD payments. The implementation is being handled through a phased approach, with priority given to recipients with the lowest current benefit amounts and those with dependent children. This means some recipients might see their increases in May, while others might not see the full adjustment until the June or July payment cycles. If you currently receive multiple benefits, for example, both VA disability and SSDI, your case will require additional processing time, but the adjustments will be retroactive to May 15 once completed. The SSA estimates that all adjustments should be fully implemented by July 1. Now, let's talk about what this really means beyond the numbers. This adjustment represents one of the most significant updates to these benefit programs in decades. It's important to understand this isn't technically a permanent change to the base benefit structure. It's being implemented as an emergency inflation response measure with initial authorization for 24 months. However, historical precedent suggests that once benefit increases of this magnitude are implemented, they're rarely reversed. There are valid perspectives on both sides of this development. Advocates for seniors and disabled Americans have praised the targeted nature of the increase, pointing out that traditional COLA adjustments have consistently underestimated the actual inflation experienced by those on fixed incomes, especially regarding healthcare costs, housing, and food. The Leading Age Coalition, which represents organizations serving older Americans, released a statement calling this a long overdue recognition of the true cost pressures facing vulnerable Americans. Their analysis suggests that even with this increase, benefits would only be restoring purchasing power that has eroded over the past decade. On the other side, fiscal conservatives have expressed concerns about long-term program solvency. The Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget estimates that if made permanent, these adjustments would increase program costs by approximately $138 billion annually. Their analysis suggests this could potentially accelerate the depletion of the Social Security Trust Fund by approximately 14 months. However, it's worth noting that the current implementation includes offset provisions through adjustments to corporate tax minimum payments and pharmaceutical pricing reforms that are projected to fully fund the increases for the initial 24-month period. The longer-term funding question remains open and will likely become a central issue in budget negotiations next year. From my perspective, having tracked these programs for years, What's most significant about this development is the shift toward regionalized benefit calculations. This approach acknowledges something recipients have known for years, that a dollar simply doesn't stretch the same way in San Francisco as it does in rural Kentucky. By incorporating regional cost of living data, the new formula creates a more equitable system that better reflects recipients' actual financial needs. It's also worth noting that these changes are happening against the backdrop of ongoing inflation concerns. While headline inflation has moderated from its peak, categories that disproportionately impact seniors and disabled Americans, particularly food, housing, and healthcare, continue to see price increases above the general inflation rate. The Bureau of Labor Statistics senior-specific inflation measure showed a 7.2% increase in these categories over the past year, compared to the general inflation rate of 4.3%. So here's what you need to remember. The $2,780 monthly payment maximum for qualifying SSI, SSDI, and VA recipients is set to begin implementation on May 15th, with the House Speaker vote this Thursday being the final procedural hurdle. Most recipients will see these changes automatically reflected in their upcoming payments, but some may need to verify their information through the SSA portal opening tomorrow. While not everyone will receive the maximum amount, millions of Americans will see substantial increases to their monthly benefits, with the most significant percentage increases going to those currently receiving the lowest payments. This represents a major shift in how these critical safety net programs operate, moving toward a more individualized approach that better reflects the actual cost of living faced by recipients. For many living on fixed incomes during this period of elevated prices, these adjustments could make a meaningful difference in daily quality of life. As always, I'll be following these developments closely and will update you immediately if there are any changes to the implementation timeline or eligibility requirements. That's what we know right now based on the official announcements and implementation guidelines. Thank you for staying informed with me today. If you found this information helpful, please consider subscribing and sharing this video with others who might benefit from staying updated on these important changes. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.